significant amount of weight, make sure you go get a new driver's license before you end up like this young lady who was arrested at a TD Bank because they took a look at her driver's license picture and convinced themselves that she was committing fraud. They said that this was a man named Christian, even though it says female, and then they said that she was impersonating him, even though this is the same person. Now, because I believe in giving all the details, I have to include the fact that the bank employees, the fraud department, and the cops were all white. Now, does that have anything to do with it? I don't know. You get in the comments and tell me your opinion. So here's what happened. This young lady decides to open a bank account online for reasons that don't even need explaining, because that's not a crime. I opened a bank account online. I went into the bank and deposited money. I used my ID and it was fine. But when she tried to do this, here's what happened. She opens her account online. She sends in her ID and her social security number, all the things. She provides the minimum required deposit to open this account, and everything is fine until she decides to deposit $1,000 into this account. And that's when she ran into some problems. So she called the bank and they said, well, in order to fix these problems, you're going to have to go inside the bank. And so she does. When she gets there, the bank teller lets her know that her account has basically been flagged for fraud, but the bank teller doesn't give her any information as to why it's been flagged for fraud. The teller says that the fraud department is not open right now or something like that. It'll be open on Monday. She comes back to the bank on Tuesday. Tuesday comes, she goes to the bank, she speaks with a different banker this time. They pull her into a room, they take all of her information, pull up some information on the computer, and the bank teller leaves out. With her ID, might I add. She's sitting alone in this room, door closed, for about 30 to 40 minutes when the police show up. Another 15 to 20 minutes go by and she decides, okay, nobody's came back and told me anything. I'm gonna leave. When she leaves, that's when she notices the banker that she was working with is now behind the counter taking customers, as if she's not sitting in this room not knowing what's going on. When she asks that banker for her ID, the banker says, okay, 1 second, and goes and talks to the cop. The cop comes in and asks, do you have another ID? And she's like, no, this is my driver's license. It's just from so-and-so state, but this is my driver's license. And that's when the cops let her know, well, the bank doesn't think that this is you. He gives her the rundown of all the information I told you at the beginning, and then lets her know that he has to detain her until he can figure out some other information. They literally arrest this woman at the TD Bank. Literally. Now, luckily, when the cop goes and does his investigation, whatever that was, he was able to determine that this is Christian. She is who she says she is, and they were able to let her go. The cop goes and gives this information to the bank. The bank releases her funds. They don't give her an apology. They don't say, I'm sorry. They don't say anything. And so now I'm letting you know, if you lose a significant amount of weight, go get another driver's license, because you don't want to be arrested at a bank for trying to deposit or withdraw some money.